So the beautiful thing about this business is the fact that we do have friends that are spread around the entire globe. And that's been the coolest thing, where we can stay in community even though we are in, a little bit of an isolation situation right now. We still get to be face to face with the people that we love and care about. And so because we are all at home, we figured what a great opportunity to be able to have everyone jump on. And whether you're a new coach yourself, wanting to understand the business side a little bit better, or you're someone who's looking into what this whole thing is all about, we just wanted to spend about 30 minutes or so to be able to share our experiences with it, to share some commonly asked questions and concerns that people have, to be able to help you make a well-informed decision, because that's what I am all about. The four of us that are going to be sharing today, we actually come from completely different scenarios, and I chose them specifically because of that. Because I'm hoping what will happen is, as we share little tidbits of our stories, we're not going to go into the full thing, but little tidbits of our stories, that you'll see yourself in one of our stories, and maybe it will help you to see how this could potentially be a part of your life as well. So to get started, quickly, just to let you know who I am, my name is Lindsay Natway, and I've been a coach for almost 10 years. 10 years ago, I was in a very different situation than I am today. In fact, I've been saying all week this week that it's felt so strange. I've had a lot of flashbacks to 10 years ago with everything that's been going on in the world, and feeling like I remember exactly what I felt like with the elephant on my chest, and where it felt like the world as I knew it kind of got ripped out from underneath me. Although the circumstances seemed or were very different. I was pregnant with my very first baby about 11 years ago, and she was born premature with a severe brain bleed. And it was something that I never would have expected. I was a healthy 24-year-old. I thought, I watched Baby Story, watched The Perfect Little Delivery and all that. That did not happen for me. And with that, we spent months in the NICU, and along with months in the NICU comes very hefty medical bills. So much so that it was about $400,000 worth of medical bills. And at that exact same time in history happened to be the crash of the real estate market. And for those of you who are old enough, you might remember a lot of us got tangled in that, and I was one of those people. So at 25, when I had a 1-year-old baby, I was about $500,000 worth of debt. And so this big life that I thought I was going to lead, and the impact I was going to make, and the story that I was going to redeem from my childhood, the light seemed very dim at the end of the tunnel. And I remember falling to my knees, and I had actually, the week before I realized that coaching existed, I had just quit my bartending job. I had always been in hospitality. It's the only thing I really knew from the time I was 15, when I got my first hostessing job, to the time I was 25 years old. 10 years of working was all in bartending, serving, hosting, all those kind of things. I had just quit my job because the manager that I had there belittled us and disrespected us, and I had this little girl now, and for some reason, when I could brush it off before, I could no longer brush it off. And so I walked out, and my husband about died, because that was the worst thing that we could have done for our family in that situation. But a week later, this popped up into my life, and I had already done a workout program prior, P90X, for those of you who've been around and have tried that. It was extremely hard, but I held myself accountable by sharing online and being able to publicly keep myself accountable. And even though I had nothing to gain, people were inspired by me starting my journey and began to start their journey as well. And I remember coaching them, kind of giving them tips and things that had helped me. And those people were going and buying the program from Beachbody. And one day it hit me, I'm like, I'm just making that company a lot of money, and not getting anything for it. And here we are, like, struggling. So I ended up calling the company to find out if they had a referral program, like kind of an affiliate program, and then fell into this coaching thing. Because I had nothing to lose, because my ego was stripped, I went all in on this over the past decade, and it's completely changed the course of our life, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit later. But what I want to pass it over to is actually a complete opposite story of mine, which is one of my co-hosts, Holly Hilliard. I want to have her share why she decided to jump into this. So Holly, you want to take it over?
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yay. So Yeah, I have a very, very different kind of story background and yet have also seen success in this business. So I've been coaching 5 years now. And when I started, I was a six-figure earning corporate engineer. I have um, two undergraduate engineering degrees. I was completing my MBA and I had these professional engineering certifications, had the big fancy job. Like I had what I thought I wanted. My goal with engineering was like, I wanted financial freedom. I mean, I didn't really care that much about engineering, truthfully, but I wanted financial freedom. So growing up, I moved a lot. With my dad's job, we moved every 2 years. So to me, financial freedom meant I could control my life. I could stop moving. I could start a family. I could find stability. My husband at the time was making multiple six figures. He was working for Google. So financially, we felt very secure, but he was traveling constantly. And when we were relocated, we were moved from DC out to Virginia, I found myself really face to face with that decision that I chose a job for money and not for passion. And I found myself alone in a small apartment while I watched my husband go work his dream job. And I have never been in a worse place mentally. I was depressed, full of anxiety. And I truly don't think there's anything worse than sitting alone on the couch in depression, watching someone else go lead their dream life. And so for me, my coach, the person who invited me to this opportunity, I hadn't talked to her in like literally 2 decades. We did gymnastics together as kids. She invited me to join one of these accountability groups. Now, I was the girl who went to the gym all the time. I was a college athlete. I didn't think I needed it, but I wanted the community part. I knew I needed community part. And so that challenge group, that fitness group really started pulling me out of my depression. And I fell in love with that community. And then I started watching people work this business and the business opportunity. And really specifically, I was watching Lindsay. And I started seeing someone who was not selling products, not being pushy, gross MLM, which is truthfully what I thought. I thought I was above all this. I thought I'm this big fancy engineer. I'm not going to do an MLM big scam. But I started watching her and she just shared her life and she was happy and she was leading a life with real financial freedom. It was time freedom. It was not worrying about income. It was not those like 2% raises I was getting every year as an engineer. And I wanted to come home to my children and have financial freedom. And so that is when I decided it was a mindset shift. This is a real business. And so as soon as I signed up as a coach, I started treating this like a legitimate business. And it has since retired me from my corporate job and I have retired my husband. And so yes, very different place financially than Lindsay, but even in those six-figure corporate jobs, it wasn't the freedom that I wanted, right? There's so much more to freedom than just like that paycheck that I was getting. So very different. And then someone else in a completely different situation than myself is Bonnie Engel, and she's going to share some of her story as well.
Gosh, I think it's so interesting. Every single time I hear one of my friends' stories, I get chills all over again. Even though I could probably tell you their stories backwards and forwards at this point in my business. My name's Bonnie, and I have been a coach for 6 years now, which is kind of hard to believe because it feels like a blink of an eye, truthfully, and I've never felt that way about a job before in my life. Just like these other two ladies, I was a completely different person than maybe the person you follow on social media. You know, we do these calls because it is very difficult as an outsider to get an adequate view of where this platform / opportunity has taken us all, because you follow us where we are now, or you follow the person who brought you here where they are now with the opportunity. But sometimes it's hard to see where that opportunity has taken them from. So 6 years ago, I was, and brace yourselves, $200,000 nearly $250,000 in defaulted student loan debt with fees and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in any kind of debt, let alone $250,000 worth of debt, but just the sheer weight on your chest every single morning when you wake up, that no matter how hard you work today, no matter how many hours you put in, what kind of job you have, you're not getting out of it. I actually had a debt collector and mine was all private student loan debt. So it wasn't consolidatable. It wasn't, okay, let's make up a, reasonable payment plan for you. It was, if you don't pay $3,000 a month because you've defaulted on these loans, we will come after you, take everything you own, and then take everything your co-signers own, just to paint a little picture for you. So when I was in probably the darkest time of my life, I was raised in a, middle-class family where the mentality was you either make a lot of money and you hate your job, or you love your job and you make no money. It was either or. There was no in between. So when I first came across this opportunity to paint that picture for you, I was extremely skeptical. I was the kind of girl who 100% thought everything was too good to be true if it seemed that way. And I had everything at an arm's length. And because of the anxiety and depression that my debt caused my husband and I was just a negative person. Anybody I saw on social media who was super happy and loving their life, I automatically thought, oh, they must be doing something shady. So when I first stumbled across this opportunity, if there's any skeptics on the call, I am possibly the most skeptical person you will ever meet. I was the type of person who, I was always looking for what was that job that was going to answer all of the questions. So I've had every single job you could possibly imagine. Before I was a Beachbody coach, I worked at NBC. I actually went to school for broadcast journalism. So I wanted to be a journalist. When I realized that wasn't for me, I went on a national tour as an actress/singer. That failed. I then was a bartender while my husband was unemployed in New York City. And then it got so bad to the point where I had to start using my degree, and I got a corporate America job in medical marketing as the director of operations in New York City. So I've had just about every single kind of job that you can imagine. And I was always that person searching for, okay, there's got to be something that answers all the questions, that makes me the money and solves this debt problem, but also makes me happy. And I just could never find it. And it always just made me enraged that I was working so hard. It didn't matter how hard I worked compared to the person next to me or how many extra hours I put in. I always made what they told me I could make. And I could never progress unless I had a degree that told me I could, or I just waited out my time, right? The certain amount of years to get that raise. So when I first started this business, I was scrolling, looking all over for, what was going to answer that question. We were a new military family living on a single family military income because we got stationed 3,000 miles away from anyone or anything we ever knew on a remote military base in the middle of California. So not LA, not San Diego, no place fun, middle of California. It took us 2 hours to get to a Whole Foods, just to paint a little picture for you. And I was working 3 jobs just to pay my student loan bill, just to pay that $200,000 of defaulted debt bill. So that doesn't include water, food, groceries, all of that kind of stuff. And I stumbled across my coach on social media, and she was posting all about, I'm going to work out at home and help people, and it's amazing, and I've changed my life. And I first thought, okay, scam. Anybody who falls for that is totally silly. But I kind of kept like one eye open following her the whole time. And I was kind of like, okay, well, she kind of seems like a real person. Maybe they didn't pay her to say these things. And, every time I kind of had a bad day, I would wake up at 4 a.m., go into work, get home at 11 p.m. I never saw my husband because he was working 16-hour shifts in the military. He was in missiles. So he would work 3 16-hour shifts and then be off for 2 days, which he basically slept. So we were these newlyweds, like ships passing in the night. And I finally got to this breaking point one night where I was like, this cannot be the rest of my life. There has to be something more. And I reached out to her. I'm like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? If she's a robot, then she's a robot. But she answered me, and she is now one of my very best friends. She's on this call. Her name's Lindsay, and we work this business together all the time. I am proud to say that we are completely out of debt. My husband is retired from the military, and we have moved across country and live in our dream house, and this is our full-time opportunity. I am going to pass it over to Nicolette, who is going to tell a little bit of her background.
Hey, you guys, I'm Nicolette, kindergarten and first grade teacher by trade until I had my own babies, and I was blessed enough to be able to stay at home with them. So the start of coaching for me was not necessarily about income. My husband had a great job. However, he was working a ton, and we lived across the country from friends or family. So I found myself at home alone, no longer a teacher, with a baby strapped to me all day, just kind of like filling in the hours that I had with nursing, washing bottles, mopping the floor, like trying to get my steps in place at home somehow. And the days just became Groundhog Day, and I was lonely, and it felt so monotonous, even though like my life goal and my dream was to be a stay-at-home mom. Something was missing, and I felt, oh great, now my kids are screaming. I felt guilty for feeling this way. And then on top of that, oh, they're gonna come tattle on each other now. You gotta be kidding me. Here they come, you guys might meet them. So I felt guilty on top of that. And then I had baby weight that I could not for the life of me lose. Oh, Lord help me. Okay, so after avoiding it like the plague. So there I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, actually. I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband had his dream job, and I was living out just everything I wanted home with my kids, but I couldn't lose the weight. I was lonely. I was disconnected, and I needed something more. And after avoiding it like the plague, honestly, I decided to give Beachbody a try. It was an acquaintance from high school who was talking about a 25-minute home fitness program. And I was just like, you know what? I could actually do this while Evangeline's in her swing. I could just do it in my living room, even though it probably won't work because I used to work out for hours at the gym every single day. I might as well just do it. So I ended up falling madly in love with the results that I was getting from drinking a health shake that tasted like dessert and 25-minute home workouts, not to mention the connection from the challenge groups that we had online. So I was all in for becoming a coach. And I didn't really even care about or understand the compensation part of it. Is I was just like, I want to be in the pictures that I'm seeing with these other coaches where they're friends. And then they're like getting pregnant together and their kids know each other. And I want to be a part of that community so badly. And I want to break out of my shell of just being quiet and not really knowing many people or being afraid to speak up when I'm passionate about something. And so coaching gave me all of that. And it helped me break out of like this introvert, anxious shell that I had lived in my whole entire life. And for the first time ever, I was recognized and I was being celebrated and I was building a community and I was actually connecting with tons and tons and tons of people near and far. And now, 5.5 years into the business, I've been able to make a career out of something that filled me up so much, even with, fighting children right in the other room. So it's been such an amazing blessing and given me friendships and bonds and just that something else that I think so many of us feel is missing. We can feel it and we can't really identify it. Coaching filled in all of those gaps for me. So now I think we're going to get into like the meat of this.
Yeah. So and then guys, I promise we're going to make this fast. We're going to get you all the info. So I want to hop into there are two different types of coaches. So there is what we call the affiliate coach, and then there's like the business building coach. So you heard all of our stories. We are business building coaches. Like, I started this business to freaking make an income that was going to change my family's life. But then there is also this amazing, what we call the affiliate program. So, when we hopped on this call and everyone's like, oh, Lindsay, I love your shirt. Oh, Nicolette, I love your shirt. And Lindsay's like, oh, it's from Grateful Heart & Co. Let me send you a discount code. And you're like, awesome. Lindsay sent you a discount code. It's an affiliate code. Lindsay then makes commission off of it, right? She makes out a percentage of that purchase. You guys, we offer the exact same thing with coaching. So I think everyone gets so in their head with like, oh, if I'm a Beachbody coach and I work for an MLM. No, legit, if you do your workouts, and like, I am obsessed with my Energize. I drink it every day, and I would drink it every day whether or not I was a coach or not. It keeps me going with 2 young kids at home, and I drink my shake every morning. I shared my son drinking his shake. Like, I naturally share the products that we sell in my life because I legitimately, people see them, they see what they do for me, they see my results, and they ask, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what is that you're drinking that's allowing you to be up and have energy when you have all these children who are always teething and you haven't slept in 4 years? I'm like, oh, it's my Energize. Let me send you a link. And then I make commission. That is our job. So even if you're like, listen, I just want to kind of tiptoe into this, maybe you've tried Shakeology, you tried Energize, you're doing the workouts, you love them, and you're like, listen, let me just get that covered. Let me just get my products covered. This is a really easy way to do it. So you would just start as what we call like an affiliate coach. You're just going to share when people ask, hey, what are you doing? You have a personal link. You send it to them. You're like, oh, here, check this out. They buy, you earn commission off those products. Very simple, very easy. I mean, we live in an affiliate world right now. Instagram, influencers, swipe up, here's my link, here's my discount code. It's the norm now. And so I think a lot of people who think about coaching get all wrapped up and I'm a coach and I work for this big MLM. And no, you're an affiliate. You're just like those influencers on Instagram who say, hey, here's my code. And then of course, the second way I mentioned is business builders. So, my team is, I came in to like freaking build a top business, and that has been my goal. And that is what like my mom and I really, really push for. And so that business model looks very similar. We may just be putting more time into our business. But the base of this business, whether you're a business builder or an affiliate, is sharing your journey. That's it. And so I'm going to turn it over to Nicolette, who's going to talk a little bit more about sharing versus selling, how we are utilizing social media platforms to not be those salespeople, but to be more of those affiliates, more of those influencers where people want what we have to offer because we're just naturally sharing that.
Okay, hey you guys, so I'm going to share with you, like Holly said, a little bit more about the social media aspect, because I know that people get a little bit nervous, like what is going to be expected of me? What am I going to do in terms of social media? So basically another way of saying network marketing is you're being a social influencer, right? Except you've got a great compensation plan and an e-commerce infrastructure already built in for you, rather than if you were trying to like be an independent blogger and reach out to other brands and negotiate eligibility and payment and things like that for you to represent a product that you may or may not be super passionate about. What we do is all completely streamlined with everything set up for you. And now sometimes network marketing might have a bad rap because a lot of people go about it the wrong way. Lindsay, if you want to share those slides real quick. A lot of people go about it the wrong way, right? So what you might see is people just kind of, you'll see the black and white version where people are like, ooh, okay, I am a brand rep now, so I am going to make my feed completely only about this product. And it's going to be sweaty selfies and Shakeology, and I'm just going to post my link on everything. And this is what people are afraid of becoming, but this is not what we want for you, okay? There is a difference between somebody who might be making the mistake, not to say that they're just a terrible human, but it's just people get really excited and they might not have the training or the knowledge about being, building a personal, authentic brand versus just, I just want everyone to know that they can buy this from me because I love it so much and here is my link, okay? So you can see the black and white versus the authentic brand where you are still your life. You don't have to go and make up now a whole fitness page because all you're going to do is post about Beachbody and fitness stuff and products. You are going to be you, your passions, your hobbies, your experience, and your story is your superpower more than anything. Your life phase and things that you have to offer and things that you learn along your journey is what's really going to help you grow your personal brand, help your social media continue to build and grow, and give you lots and lots of people to authentically connect with, befriend. That way you're building your client base, you're building your team, and it doesn't feel icky. It feels like you empowering others through your just real, raw, authentic journey and story. And a lot of times people are afraid of being social on social media. Like that was totally me before I became a coach, because everyone's like, oh, well, if somebody's just waiting for me to make a mistake and post something that doesn't seem right, and then they're going to roll their eyes and, oh my gosh, what is Nicolette even talking about? Let's delete her and never talk to her again. Ew. And that's something that you're making up in your brain, okay? That's a ridiculous scenario. That's like my son who won't go to bed because alligators are under his bed. We know it's not real. It might be a real fear for him, but it's not going to happen. And should one or two people be that nasty and negative, then you know what? Let's get rid of them anyway. Like, bye-bye, see ya, okay? So if you want to go to the next slide, I'm going to give you guys some examples of marketing in a graceful way, an authentic way, a creative way, versus just not doing it really the best way, okay? So in the first picture, you'll see an example of Shakeology, okay? And this is, honestly, you guys, it's an honest mistake. If you scroll back to me in 2014, legit, you will see something exactly like this, right? So it's just somebody being excited, like my packages arrived, day one, if you want some, send me a message. That's not authentic marketing though. That's just slapping something up there and hoping somebody will click your link and you get a little slice of the commission, right? A good example would be a picture of you and your shake already made, saying something along the lines of, it's safe to say that having dessert for breakfast has easily become my favorite thing to do, and it doesn't hurt that this bowl of superfoods happens to taste like ice cream and has helped me completely kick my sweet tooth. And so that's going to get questions like, well, what's the recipe? Where did you get it? How can I make it? Is that what you have for breakfast every day? What if I want to have it more than once a day? And you're creating this atmosphere of curiosity and engagement, which is how we teach people to market versus selling. Okay, hopefully you can see the difference there. If you want to go to the Energize example, so just another quick visual is, a lot of people are just like, yay, it's my Energize. Woohoo, day one on my workout, ready to crush my workout. Which, okay, you're excited, but that's not marketing. So a better way to do it would just be, you could even do a flat lay of your Energize in a more creative way so people can't tell what it is. They can just see that it's something that's a really cool color and it helps you, kick your workout right in the face when you don't think you have the energy to, okay? So a good example, that feeling when you've got a workout, but you have no idea how to muster up the energy. What if I told you there was a delicious plant-based lemon drink that would muster up the energy for you? That's happening right now. Okay, so you're telling the story. You are exposing and you are unashamed of what you are doing, right? But you're doing it in a way where it's you. It's authentic to you. You're leading with your story, your experience, versus Beachbody and links and buy here. You're creating an environment for curiosity and engagement. And then when people are liking and commenting and wanting to know more, this is when you can help people, whether you're doing it to build that 6-figure life-changing business, or if you're doing it just to get a few $100 this month, this is how you're going to do it authentically in a way that's going to make you feel empowered, and while empowering others and inspiring others to take action in their health, fitness, and wellness. So with that, I'm going to throw it back over to Bonnie, who's going to talk to us a little bit more. Sorry, I have kids coming in.
Thank you, Nicolette. So you guys are legitimately getting kind of an insider view of just the types of trainings that are available to you. You know, if you are on this call, you're pretty much in the right place if you're thinking about joining this business, because all of these people who are on this call, we are going to provide for you a little bit of a roadmap of exactly how to handle your business, exactly how to talk about things on social media, exactly how to share. And that was kind of a little snippet of, you know, do this, not that. So I am going to talk about a lot of the common misconceptions of the business as an outsider looking in. And one of the first ones to go along with that is, do I have to know it all? Do I have to have all of this kind of social media experience or wherewithal in order to be a successful coach? I'll have people come to me all the time that say, well, I look at your social media and you have a lot of followers and you know what to say. But here's the thing, every single top coach, every single successful person in our business has started from ground zero, and we have all taught ourselves. I didn't even have the Instagram account that I have today when I was first a new coach. I literally had about 187 friends on Facebook. And right before I signed up as a coach, I went through that whole thing where you're like, I'm going to unfriend everybody on social media who I don't see in real life because they don't need to see my pictures. And then when I signed up, I was like, oh, shoot, this is a social media thing. So if you're disqualifying yourself right now because you're like, I don't have a great social media presence, or those things Nicolette just shared don't even come to mind, guess what? That's what our trainings are for. We have figured it out first for you. So now you joining the business should be able to figure it out in half the time that all of us have figured it out, because we literally give you step by step, here's how you launch your business, and here's the steps to do that. The second misconception that I really want to talk about goes along the same lines, and that's, I always hear, well, I'm not a fitness expert. I don't know all the answers when people ask me about nutrition. I sure as heck don't know all of my nutrition. Do I have to be an expert in order to do this? And the answer is absolutely not. I would actually be willing to argue that if you are an expert and you do have all the answers, that actually can work against you. So the reason that Beachbody coaching works so freaking well, and the reason that in the past week, there have been 400,000 people doing workouts on Beachbody On Demand. There have been 97,000 new signups on our at-home workout platform. And the reason why there is this surge in affiliates, because we are living in a peer-to-peer marketing society. It used to be everybody wanted to see, you know, that picture-perfect housewife with the picture-perfect muffins and bread in the kitchen and the chiseled abs. And when you want chiseled abs, you know, you go to that person who has a perfect body. However, society is changing, and we no longer want picture perfect. We want regular, everyday people who are just utilizing something that's helping them every single day be a little bit better. Perfection is so intimidating, and nobody wants it. How great did you feel when you heard Nicolette's kids screaming in the background? You're like, oh my God, if she can do this and her kids are screaming in the background, I can freaking do this too. And that's why coaching works, because we're peer-to-peer marketing. We're not perfect. We don't have the perfect bodies. What we're doing is agreeing, okay, I'm going to start this journey and I'm going to utilize these things to help me be better. And then I'm going to share it with the next person. And that's why coaching works so freaking well. We are girls next door. We are not experts on top. Additionally, we work with the #1 at-home fitness company in the US, UK, Canada, soon to be France. We are expanding like crazy, and we have the top of the top panels of nutritionists, celebrity trainers, literally groups of people that are put together to come up with these comprehensive workouts at home for people. So we don't need to know the answers. We have the tools that are given to us to give the answers. And I'll paint you a little picture. So before this, one of my 3 jobs was a personal trainer. Now I use air quotes because I was not an actual personal trainer. I had interest in fitness. I knew that it helped me with my anxiety and depression. So I got a job at a gym that said, we'll pay for your personal training certificate while you work here. And as you work through that, you can work with people. Now, as personal trainers, it is so hard to put together a program that will work for someone. It takes so much time, effort. You don't get paid for that time putting together the program. Everybody's bodies are different. Every kind of workout that somebody likes to do is different. Their nutritional needs are different. And to be honest, as a personal trainer, I never felt like I was actually helping people get to the levels that they wanted to. When I became a coach, it was like, crap. Now I see where I was going wrong. I have these catalogs of workouts that are specifically put together for everybody's different likes, time constraints, body types, things that they can and cannot eat. Like, it is essentially starting your own health and fitness business with all of the work taken out of it for you. You don't have to come up with programs. You don't have to come up with products. You don't have to get them approved by the FDA. Literally everything is put together for you, and you get to partner with a household name, right? So instead of trying to get your workouts out there, trying to be this kind of beacon of light for people, which we are, we get to utilize this for better. The third thing that I want to talk about is the misconception that this is a pyramid scheme. And this is a really super old school misconception. And I want to take it back because when I first stumbled across this, as I mentioned in my story, I totally had that misconception too. You're taught if something's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Your parents talk about these pyramid schemes, but I want to tell you the actual definition of a pyramid scheme and why that's completely the opposite of what we are. A pyramid scheme is a business model that is set up, and I'll give you a real life example. Like if I were to say, hey, Holly, come join my business, pay me $500, and you don't get anything in return for that $500 except for the ability to have other people pay $500. That is a pyramid scheme. Then the only exchange of money is no product, no absolute anything in exchange for that money except for you get to be part of this. And then the only way that you can make money is to get other people to pay that $500 in order to be part of this. That's a pyramid scheme, and that is 100% illegal. 100%. You cannot own and operate a pyramid scheme in today's society without being shut down for it, right? In Beachbody, one of the things that I absolutely love is that the only thing you'll ever pay for here are your products. When you sign up to be a coach, you're only paying for your fitness programs, your products that you saw in the chat how many people are craving their Energize right now. Those are the things that you will pay for when you sign up for this business. The other thing that I'm absolutely obsessed with is when you sign up as a coach, we don't make any profit whatsoever from that at all. And we have a vested 100% interest in having you become successful, because the absolute only time a coach makes any kind of income from you being a coach is if you yourself are successful. So we all have a 150% vested interest in having you become successful. This is not, we want to sign you up and then drop you off at the pool with your kids to fend for yourself. This is, we need you to become successful, and then Beachbody will pay you a portion from them of you being able to help other people do this same thing. We are completely the opposite. We have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, and we have been a company for, we've been a company for a very long time, but a network marketing business for about 12 or so years. And we are going strong, and we are so successful. So, a lot of times it's hard to separate, I heard this thing about pyramid schemes and my mom and dad say this, but that's a very boomer generation thing to kind of buy into. But as soon as you hear the definition and kind of separate, okay, facts from these are the things that are actually true, that's how you can kind of debunk that in your mind or your spouse's mind or anyone else's mind. So the last thing I want to talk about is the misconception of, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not good at sales. I don't want to be pushy. I saw a ton of comments that were saying, I don't want my friends and family to think that I'm pushing things on them. And first, I would really encourage you to take a step back and think about everything that's around you right now. Your shirt, your necklace, your headband, your desk that you're sitting at, the groceries in your cupboard. When you walk into Target and you see the $5 spot and it says, $5 sale today or 50% off sale, are you like automatically offended that Target has that sign there? Like, okay, don't try to sell me something, Target. I know what you're doing, Target. You're taking all of my money. No, absolutely not. Everything and every job in our society rests and lies on sales. When you see a t-shirt that you love, like the one Lindsay is wearing under her blanket right now, are you offended that she told you where she got that t-shirt? Absolutely not. Our life is sales, and we have a product and a fitness platform that can change lives. The difference between a salesperson and what we do is we believe 150% in what we have to offer. Now, if you were out there telling people, you got to buy this workout, you got to drink this shake, and you weren't doing it yourself and you weren't, involved in it, then I'd be like, that's a little bit iffy. But the way we keep our integrity intact as coaches and what we stand behind is that we use the products first. We love them. We know they work. We know that they have changed our entire lives. We know this business has the ability to completely catapult someone to where they want to go. And that's why we will never be salespeople. We affectionately call ourselves shares people, right? So I am going to throw this over to Lindsay, who is going to tell you a little bit about exactly how we earn and how that works.
One more thing. Holly's going to take it for a second. And then
Yep. Perfect. So before Lindsay gets into exactly how we earn money, I want to piggyback a little bit off of what Bonnie said about the community and the trainings that you're going to get. So you guys saw those insane PDFs and really training examples that Nicolette showed. And if you are on this call, you were either invited here by one of the four of us or by one of the coaches on our team. Here's the thing. We are all top coaches. That means we're all top teams. We are teams that have built to the top together. When you join, you immediately gain access to the resources that have helped us become those top teams. And what does that even mean? What does it even mean to be a top coach or a top team? Great. Did we just recruit a bunch of people, right? Did we just have big social media and sign up a bunch of coaches? No. To be a top coach or a top team, it means, just like Bonnie said, how we do not earn income unless our coaches see success, we don't get these titles of top teams unless our coaches see success. The four of us have more new coaches seeing success than any other coaches in the entire company. We are creating more coaches who are hitting that top 1% of the company quickly within their first few months than any other teams in the company. And all of that is because of our trainings, our resources, and the community we built together. So as soon as you sign up to be a coach, you are going to get a welcome email from your coach, and it is going to give you access to our new coach trainings so you can get started right away. You are also going to get access. Again, we talk about community. We have training groups. We have message pods. You are not in this alone. The coach that you sign up with, whether it be us or one of the coaches on our team, and guys, again, we all share these resources. It is the beauty in this business, and it should give you confidence that when you sign up, you have that same ability to share these resources. This is why our coaches are successful. People aren't saying, gosh, I need to sign up with Bonnie or Holly or Lindsay. They are saying, hey, I want to sign up with that new coach on their team who has access to those top coach trainings and who can build right beside me. So I want you all to have confidence that by joining a top team, you have access to the best trainings in the company And you also have access to personal mentorship, women who are going to run with you, whether or not you sign up with us or one of our coaches. And again, the community, we are in an unprecedented time right now. This community has saved me. So I mentioned I was depressed. I felt isolated. In my 5 years as a coach, I also lived in France for a year, and I do not speak French. My anxiety was so bad, I didn't leave my house. I literally self-isolated without even knowing what that would mean a few years later. But this community saved me. You know, when you see your coach or the coach who invited you to this on like Zoom call, and you see pictures of this and you're like, great, good for her. Guys, it sounds so weird, I know, but I've become best friends with my coaches, and you will too. You will become part of this community. I don't know if you guys saw, we hosted a retreat in February. Like, it's not, once we get out of this crazy isolation, it's also vacations together. You have the opportunity to earn free vacations. They just canceled our free vacation to Punta Cana because of this craziness, but literally next year, you could be with us in Mexico. And it's something that I could never explain, that I thought was such BS and crap before. I was like, I'm an introvert, an engineer, and I have like 3 good girlfriends. I had 1 good girlfriend from high school, 1 from college, and 2 after that. I had like 4 best girlfriends. That was it in my entire life. And now like my job is built with other inspiring women. And it is something again, it pulled me out of a clinical depression. That is the power of this community. That is the power of finding your gift and your joy that you get to share with others. And then knowing that you're a new coach joining this team, and you immediately have access to top trainings that are helping people see success faster than any other coaches in the network, and that you get to pass that on to your coaches so that you can build your business more quickly than we did. Because I will tell you, every single one of us, our coaches are building more quickly than we did and seeing success faster than we did, because we failed forward. We put those failures into trainings, and now we've given them to you. So I'm going to pass over to Lindsay to talk about how we actually earn an income and utilize these trainings.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, yeah, sign me up. Okay. I'm going to screen share because I'm very visual when it comes to like numbers. I love numbers. I was a failure at math, but I am a like PhD in Beachbody compensation. So I'm going to screen share a little PDF I made. And for anybody asking about these PDFs, I'll make sure to share these in our team page so that you guys can utilize them. So I want to talk about 3 different things. I want to talk about a discount coach, that affiliate coach, and then a business building coach, and how those 3 things differ. The price to get in is the exact same. Most people get what's called a challenge pack, where they're getting 1 nutritional, either Shakeology or pre and post workout, and they're getting a year of Beachbody on demand. So I gave that in the example because that's what most people do. So it's $160. That's your product and nothing else. You're not storing product in your house. It's your product, and it waives the coach fee that's normally $40 to sign up. So you pay that. This is a difference between a customer and a coach. Same price for that package. However, in month 2, that's when it starts to differentiate itself. So if you're someone who's going to stay on Shakeology, which I'm sure the girls can agree with me, like once you actually tried it and you're drinking it on a regular basis, and the amount of money that you actually save on meals by replacing it with this, you'll realize you're going to stay on it. So the second month, just Shakeology, is $129.95. As coaches, we save 25% off all of our products. So the coach cost is $97.46, the business fee $295. So those things together is $113.41. So even if you sold nothing, if you're just going to stay a customer, you just like a discount, you save $16.54 if you're just getting Shakeology. As you've seen on the call, most of us are slightly addicted to a little yellow drink called Energize. So if you add on any of the other stuff that I listed, those are just some of our more popular products. Those things are also 25% off. So that discount as a coach starts to save you more and more if you're purchasing other products. All right, so that's over a year, almost $200 that you would save just being a customer, not making a dime as an affiliate. Let's go on to affiliate coach, right? So as we shared, the affiliates out there, they're usually making between like 5 and 15%. The link that I sent you guys, actually not an affiliate link. I just absolutely love her business and I wanted to save you guys some money. But typically, I own a lash business. We have lash affiliates. They make like about 8% on whatever they refer to our business. 8 to 10% is the typical ratio. If you're doing Amazon, you're an Amazon affiliate, you make about 5% on anything that's purchased through you. Beachbody affiliates make 25 to 40% commission. Beachbody On Demand, if you were to refer somebody, which like we said, there was 97,000 people that signed up for Beachbody On Demand just last week. If you're to sell one Beachbody On Demand for the year, it's $99 for the year. You make $40 of that $99. Kind of crazy. That can add up pretty quick. We were talking about it yesterday. We're like, oh my gosh, if you sold 10 Beachbody On Demands, which would not be hard to do right now, that's $400. $400 at a time like now is probably pretty significant for quite a few people. So these are just some examples of some of our most popular products. That Beachbody challenge pack that I talked about is a $50 commission attached to that basic challenge pack. And then thereafter, here's the cool part. Any of our continuity products, things that are shipped monthly that people keep, you continue to make commission from those products. So whether or not that person contacts you again, as long as they're getting their order, you're making a commission from it. I'm going to show you in a second how that starts to stack up pretty significantly over time. All right, here's my little example. Wait, is that on my screen? What is that thing? Hold on. Still on it. All right, whatever. Rolling with it. Okay, so here is an example of someone just signing up 5 customers per month. So 5 people are deciding, hey, I want to do this alongside you. They have 3 challenge packs and then 2 people that just get the $99 Beachbody On Demand for the year. With that, with those 5 people, they make $230 in commission. Now, for the next example, all I'm doing is the second month, they're adding 5 more customers and keeping the residual from the 5 customers the previous month. So they're getting 3 new challenge pack sales, 2 new Beachbody On Demand sales, plus the residual Shakeology from the challenge packs. Because remember, the people that ordered Beachbody On Demand, that's just a one-time payment that they're paying every year. That adds up to $327.50 in commission. Now, let's compound that for the third month. Third month, you have 5 new customers, same thing, 3 new challenge packs, 2 Beachbody On Demand, and then your residual Shakeology orders from the previous 2 months. That's $425 in commission. That's 15 customers total over the course of 3 months, and you're almost at $1,000 in earnings, just customers alone. I went on, and I didn't show like the example, so I was running out of space, but doing the exact same thing, adding 5 more customers, keeping those residual orders. In the 4th month, $522.50. After month 5, you're at $620 in residual. Month 6, you're at $717.50. So 30 customers over the course of 6 months, you're almost at $3,000, $2,800 that you've made just off commissions. Not building a team, not signing up any other coaches. That's just you being an affiliate, essentially, and focusing on retail sales, which is initially how coaches make the bulk of their income until they get into the spot where, okay, let's talk about the t-shirt, right? Let's say you buy the t-shirt, you love it, you go and refer people. In most cases, I don't get a kickback on that anymore. It's away from me. But what if I were to be able to build a team of people who were out with that t-shirt on, people were asking them, they're making sales, and I got a small portion from the company, Grateful Heart and Company, was sending me a little small kickback on all the success that you guys were having in selling the shirts. That's essentially how this works. So as I help you to get resources to sell more t-shirts, you're going to be able to sell more, and then I'm getting more kickback from the company saying, hey, thank you for building the team of affiliates that you now have that are successfully showing our product. That is what Beachbody is all about. So if we help equip you, you're able to build a team of people that are doing the exact same thing that you're doing. And those people, as you help them to succeed, you're making a small piece, not from them, from Beachbody, as a way to say thank you for building a successful team of affiliates that are going out and making real sales and making real income. So here are 3 different ways that we also earn. We're not going to go into depth with this. We do this in all of our trainings, but we wanted to give you an idea that the commission part inevitably becomes a very small portion of your income as you build a team that is succeeding and able to duplicate your success that you're having. So team bonuses, that's something that you get paid on based on helping your coaches to succeed in attaining customer sales and building a thriving team. A matching bonus is something where you earn 10% of whatever your coaches, your personally sponsored coaches, earn in team bonuses. So for example, Bonnie, if she makes $1,000 in team bonus cycles, Beachbody pays me $100. So by me helping Bonnie to further succeed, my income increases as well. Quarterly bonuses are something we get paid on 4 times a year. It's more of a leadership thing once you hit the rank of 2-star diamond, which means nothing to you. But it's as you start to build other leaders that are then duplicating, you're able to get a piece of Beachbody's bonus pool. And it ranges anywhere from typically around $800 all the way up to the highest level of like $40,000 to $50,000 a quarter. So it varies significantly and obviously is based on your own success and how you're approaching your business. So that is a kind of an overview on how we earn as coaches. Now, to end this baby, because we are obviously passionate about this and could go on forever, kind of what's now. And Holly shared, we made the decision about a week ago. We said, how can we in this time, very unique time, like go above and beyond for our team to be able to support them, to give them the best possible resources to help people succeed in growing this business. Because as I said in the beginning, I'm having flashbacks of like where I was to start, when my back was against the wall, when my daughter's future was on the line. And I know that's not everybody's circumstances, but I also realize it is some people's circumstances. And I feel called to be able to help those people. And whether that's you, hopefully it's not, but if it's you, I want to be able to give those people the best possible launching pad, to give them the most concise way to be able to start their business. And so we're going to spend 2 weeks, the 4 of us, giving you our absolute best content, showing you Nicolette's the genius at doing social media and building up your stuff to where it is real. It's authentic. It feels good. You don't feel like you're pushing stuff on people. You're actually just excited about what you're doing and you're sharing it in a way that doesn't repel people, that actually draws them to you. And so we want to help give you an exact plan to follow. If business building or even affiliate building is something that you're interested in, this 2-week group would be an absolute game changer in my opinion. So that would be first things first. That starts on Monday. Like, we're not sparing any time. So the next step would be that you would reach out to the person who sent you the link to this call. That person is in our team and has access to every single resource that we have. Each of us, there's only 4 of us, so our time is crazy tight. Here's the benefit of signing up with somebody on the team versus signing up with us individually. They have more time to invest one-on-one, walking you through every single question as it comes up and running alongside you. And they also have the resources to back it up. They also have exactly what to do and a training that they can be able to place you in to help you to succeed. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. The next step and the last step before we boot you off this baby to take some action is you got to make a choice by Sunday, because we are going hardcore right into this as of Monday, and we need everybody into the group by Sunday night so that we're ready to do that, because we're going to go live that morning. So step 1, contact the person that wrote you. If you have other questions, I'm sure they're going to be more than happy to answer. We will get you guys these resources, these PDFs, so you can share them if you'd like to take a closer look. You're more than welcome. And we were really excited to be able to jump in with you guys on Monday and start on a journey that we know from personal experience can change so much for the better in your lives. All right, guys, thanks for being on. We appreciate you, and we will see you on Monday.